Hello, my lovely friends, and thanks for joining me today for this restorative yoga class. This is a special class to raise funds for breast cancer research. I will be donating funds collected from this class, and then Moxie will be matching those funds. So we'll make a nice little donation to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. This is going to be a 45-minute class. We're going to start with just a little bit of movement to kind of get our joints lubricated a little bit, and then we're going to spend the rest of the class in some long poses, and I hope that you will really enjoy it. You know, yoga, when we talk about yoga, we are generally referring to poses that we make with our body, movement and breathing, kind of that piece of it. But that's really just one small piece of the Eastern practice of yoga. And one of the purposes of the movement part that we do is to get your body and your mind ready for meditation. So the poses that we do today are going to really help the body to relax, and I want you to think of it as kind of a reset for your nervous system. If you find yourself getting fidgety, don't be upset about that or anything. Just do your best to relax into the poses and to enjoy, okay? Let's just start with a couple of deep breaths. So sit up tall if you haven't already. You can sit any way that's comfortable to you. If it feels all right to you, float your eyes closed and start to breathe into your belly. Really inhale deeply and exhale fully. And let the inhale anchor your tailbone down towards the floor. And as you exhale, imagine sending that air up through the crown of your head. So you have a little bit of a push and pull, a little bit of a give and take in lengthening out that spine. Relax your shoulders, relax your face. And feel yourself settle into your space. Do a little side stretch next. So take your left hand to the floor next to you. Right arm is going to reach up and over your head. Keep your palm facing down towards the floor. Reach over the top, and then if you would like to, you can turn your head and gaze up towards the ceiling. Just feel the side body open. And as you inhale, see if you can send air into that side of your body. Expand. And as you exhale, let it contract. Good. Next, inhale, let yourself rise up top. Take that top hand down and we'll do the other side. So right hand down on the floor, left hand reaches up and over. That right elbow can bend behind you. You can stay right here, or if it feels good, turn your head, look up towards the ceiling. Let those left ribs just spiral open towards the ceiling. And let your next inhale bring you up. And exhale, bring that arm down. Gently move on over to your tabletop position for just a couple moments of cow and cat. So spread your fingers wide. Inhale, drop your belly, look forward. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, arch your back, press yourself away from the mat. Do that 3 or 4 times at whatever pace feels good to you. Feel free to move your hips or your shoulders a little bit if that feels nice. And then eventually come back to a neutral spine. Walk your hands a little bit further forward and then tuck your toes and get ready to send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Pedal your feet out here. Nothing that feels too strenuous. See if you can find a gentleness even in this downward dog pose. Good. And then bring your knees back down to the mat. Swing your legs around to one side and bring them out in front of you. Send your legs out long and sit up tall. We're going to keep our fingertips on the mat here and just let your fingertips slowly walk forward and down towards your feet, bending at your hips and letting your upper body relax down towards your legs. And again, don't feel the need to pull or really reach very far here. Just a gentle warming of the muscles. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, relax down towards the legs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, relax. Take one more deep breath in and use the exhale to walk those fingertips back towards your hips. And come to sit up tall. Good work. Okay, our first restorative pose that we're going to do today is called a reclined bound angle. So you're going to bring your pillows right behind you, and you want them long ways on your mat so that the short end is where your hips are, and then you'll be able to put your hips right next to or right behind the pillows. The pillows right behind your hips. That's it. And then the blankets you're going to grab, and we're going to use one blanket on each side. You're going to bring your feet, the soles of your feet together, let your knees go out wide, so kind of that butterfly position that we do sometimes. And don't feel the need to pull the heels in real tight. You can leave a nice big diamond shape in your legs, and then fold or roll your blankets in a way that you can support your legs on each side, so that you don't feel too much stretching. You're able to let those legs open, but it doesn't feel like a big wide stretch. And then with the pillows right behind your hips, you're just going to roll yourself backwards onto them. And you have the option with the arms. If you want to be a little bit more relaxed, just let them hang down by your sides. If you want to feel a little bit more stretch or a little more intensity, you can cactus or goalpost those arms and let them hang off the sides. So go ahead and just try that, see what feels good. And spend the first few seconds each time we get into one of these poses seeing if you need to get any fidgets out, right? So seeing if you need to adjust, if it feels like your head is hanging too far back, you could pop another pillow underneath your head. Or if you need to lift those legs up more, you could fold the blankets a little thicker. But see if you can work out any of those fidgets so that then you can start to find stillness. We're going to stay in these poses for several minutes, but I promise I will not leave you there forever. So trust me to let you know when it's time to move. And just allow yourself to sink into the pose. I'd encourage you to close your eyes. And just do a quick scan of your body. Notice if there's anywhere where you're holding tension. So notice if you might be gripping in your fingers or toes. If you might be lifting in your hips, if you might be straining through your neck, shoulders, or jaw. See if you can let go of that strain and again, just settle in. If you find your mind is starting to wander, returning to your breath is a really good place to go. Noticing those inhales and exhales. Maybe even making some sound with that breath can sometimes be helpful. If you let the tip of your tongue touch the roof of your mouth. And then inhale and exhale with a slight contraction at the back of the throat. You can find what we call ujjayi or ocean breath, which can be soothing to the body and to the mind. We're going to get ready to move into the next pose, but I want you to move very slowly. We don't want to jolt ourselves out of any of these relaxing poses as we move to the next. So very gently reach down, place your hands on the outsides of your thighs, and use the hands to close the knees in the middle. And then roll to one side and use your top hand to help push yourself up. Good job. Okay, for the next one, I want to give you a couple of options. We're going to leave the pillows exactly where they are. We're going to do a little bit of a twist. And so, options with your legs. You're going to place the pillows right at your right hip. You can do this little kind of 90-degree mermaid thing with your legs so that you have them both bent at 90 degrees, one in front of the other. Or if it's more comfortable for you, you can place a blanket between the legs and bring them closer together so that the knees aren't necessarily stacked but are closer together. So I want you to kind of experiment and see what feels best for you. You're going to bring the pillows right to your right hip. And here's where the twist comes in. You're going to bring your torso towards those blankets and lower your torso down. One arm on each, the pillows. One arm on each side of the pillow. And then start off with your head turned towards your legs. See if you can settle in there. Decide what feels better in your legs, whether you want a big bend or whether you want them stacked on top of each other. And then you can decide whether you want to leave your head there with your face facing towards your legs, or if you would like a deeper twist, a deeper stretch, in which case you would turn your head away from your legs to complete that stretch. And either one is just fine. You should see which one feels more comfortable to you, which one feels more sustainable. Remember, I want you to be able to sink in, find that relaxation. And again, spend the first few moments here getting any fidgets out. And always, please feel free to do what you need to do to be more comfortable. So if you find you need more pillows or blankets, if you find you want to adjust anything, I want you to feel empowered to do that, because I want you to be able to relax into the pose. Once you're there and you feel like you have most of the fidgets out, do that little body scan again for me and check whether you're holding or gripping anywhere. Relax through the head, jaw, neck, and shoulders. Let the arms hang heavy. Relax through the belly and the hips. And let the legs rest. Let your breathing feel easy and natural. To gently come up out of this pose, you're going to press your hands into the floor and slowly press your body away from the pillows. Walk your hands back towards your body until you are sitting up. And for the next one, we're just going to switch sides. So you're simply going to flip your legs over to the other side. And again, you have those options with your legs, whether you'd rather have the 90-degree separation in each leg or whether you'd like the legs stacked on top of each other, maybe with something in between them like a blanket. Pull those pillows really snug in towards your other hip, and then turn your torso towards the pillows. Hands on the floor next to the pillows. Gently lower yourself down, turning your face towards your legs as you start to settle and find what feels comfortable. And then knowing if you would like a deeper stretch or more sensation, you can turn your head the other way so that you face away from your legs and get a deeper stretch from head to tailbone. You get to decide. Work out any fidgets. Hopefully by now you've started to relax a little bit. I know that sometimes it can be really challenging to slow down like this. We don't really live in a world where we place value on taking time out or relaxing. Sometimes, if you say, what do you do to relax? Answers will be like hiking or biking or things like that, which those things are wonderful and can be very relaxing. But very rarely do we do things that involve stillness. And it's that stillness that can help move our nervous system from that fight or flight response into the opposite of that, which we call rest and digest. So a settling and a peacefulness. There's a lot of benefits to that. So know that you don't have anywhere else you need to be right now. And you can take this time and be still. begin to come out of this pose, gently press your palms into the floor and slowly lift your body up, walk your hands back towards your hips. The next one that we're going to do, again, we're going to keep these pillows where they are. We're going to go for a supported child's pose. So slowly move yourself over onto hands and knees, and you're going to place one knee on either side of the pillows, letting the knees spread wide and bringing the big toes together in the back. And then feel free to just scoot those pillows towards you. And then you're going to lower yourself down and turn your face one way or the other. Or another option would be to take a blanket or another pillow, put that right underneath your forehead so that you can put your face all the way down. I'm going to let you know when we're halfway done with this pose, so that if you have your face turned to one side, I'll let you know when you can flip it over. If you're going to use a pillow or blanket underneath your forehead and keep it straight down, then you're welcome to just stay right there. Let your arms rest on either side of you. And again, feel free to make any adjustments you need to here so that you feel supported. If you will need to build up those blankets underneath your belly a little bit more so that you feel more supported. If you want to widen out your feet instead of keeping your big toes together, you could do that. If you would rather bring your knees closer together, you can do that as well. So give yourself a little bit of time to experiment if you need to, find what feels most comfortable to you. And then one more time, allow your eyes to close. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then do that little mental check-in for anywhere where you might be holding or gripping. It might be different in this pose. Notice if you feel like you're holding yourself up with your arms, and then see if you can relax your torso down a little bit more instead. See if you can really let your hips shift back towards your heels. We're halfway done with this pose, so if you have your face turned to one side and you would like to turn it the other way, you should do that now. Want to make sure you feel balanced. very slowly to come out of this one. Pressing your hands into the floor to lift your torso, and then walking your hands back towards your hips. Good job. Okay. For the next one, we're going to do a supported bridge pose. So I want you to move those blankets out of your way. And I'll show you a couple of options again. You're going to roll yourself all the way down. And one option is going to be to take a yoga block with a blanket over the top underneath your hips. The other option is going to be to use your pillows underneath your hips. So I'll show you both of those. I want you to roll all the way down, and you've done this bridge before, so you know how that works. You're going to walk your heels in close to your bottom. You're going to press your heels into the floor and lift your hips. And then if you're going to use the block and the blanket, you're just going to slide that underneath. And when you let go there, you should feel a little bit of a settling of the hips. It should kind of feel like when you give a nice sigh or exhale. Pillows, same thing, but put them so that they are the wide way underneath your hips. And you can try one, you can try two, you can try one folded. It just depends on how thick your pillows are, but you want those hips elevated a little bit. So you want to feel like your hips are definitely higher than your heart. This is an inversion pose. And once you get there, once you feel like your hips are supported, again, give a big sigh and just sink down. Really let that prop underneath your hips be the main support. So I no longer want you to feel like you have to press your feet into the mat or squeeze through your hips and glutes. I want you to feel like you can let those sink into the floor. Let your arms extend long down next to you. Relax your head and shoulders. If your head feels uncomfortable, you're more than welcome to slide a blanket or a pillow underneath your head. Like I mentioned just a moment ago, this bridge is an inversion pose. Inversion is any time that your head is below your heart. And there's a lot of benefits to that when it comes to circulation. You might even feel your face get a little bit tingly in this kind of a pose when you stay here for a little while. Sometimes we think that in order to get the benefits of an inversion, we need to stay in downward dog, or we need to learn to do a headstand or some kind of more extreme inversion, but just lifting your hips like this is really beneficial for you too. So continue to breathe in and out. And if this feels really good for you, I invite you to just stay here. If you'd like a little bit more sensation or want to explore that inversion a little bit more, I would invite you to extend both legs up towards the ceiling. So you would straighten out your legs, send them up towards the ceiling, and try to think of a straight line from the hips to the heels. This may feel a little bit less relaxing, but like I said, the benefits of having your head below your heart and feeling your circulation move a little bit differently will be good for you as well. We'll just be here for a short time, not very long. All right, if your feet are lifted, go ahead and bring them back down to the floor. And moving gently and with care for yourself, lift your hips just slightly so that you can pull that prop out from underneath and lower your hips back down to the floor. And our last pose today will be a supported Shavasana or corpse pose. I'd like you to have something behind your head, but I don't want your head lifted up too much. So if your pillows are thick or big, go ahead and just use a folded blanket or something smaller underneath your head. I would like you to have a pillow behind your knees. So you're going to grab one of those pillows and just place it behind your knees so that as you lie back, you can have those knees just slightly lifted. And then what you may want to do with another blanket is take it either across your hips and belly or across your shoulders and arms or both. Find what might feel good to you. Maybe if your toes are chilly, you want to put a blanket across your toes. And just sink down into your mat. Turn your hands so that your palms are open towards the ceiling. In yoga, palms open is traditionally a sign of being open to receiving things that are coming into your life, open to receiving feelings, help, love, whatever's coming your way. And again, once you've got your fidgets out, see if you can sink into your mat. Feel the mat rising up to meet your body. Let your eyes drift closed. Let your breathing feel natural. This time, if you notice your mind start to drift away, you can bring it back to your breathing, or maybe that little head to toe body scan. Or one trick that I like sometimes is to check in with your senses. So notice what you can hear, what you can smell, if there are any tastes in the air, what parts of your body you can feel touching the earth, or any air or sensations coming across your skin. Anything that keeps you anchored in the present moment and allows you to relax. My beautiful friends, if you would like to stay where you are and continue to relax in Shavasana for a little bit longer, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to just close out our class today, so no chatting or talking afterwards, which means you're more than welcome to stay where you are. When you do decide that you're finished and you'd like to move, I encourage you to do so slowly. You'll want to wiggle your fingers and toes first, and then just take small movements to bring your awareness back to your body, bring that movement back. And I hope that you will go slow throughout your day today. I hope you'll take time for yourself. You'll appreciate moments of stillness, and that this little reset will make you feel both relaxed and energized. I'm so grateful that you joined me today. Please be well.